Speaking of PC, like I mentioned before, how is Kid Smooth doing with his transition? Are there some hiccups? Absolutely. As you can see here, he shows a picture. I don't know why you would share this. Because it just makes...
Things ain't running too smoothly for Kid Smooth, huh? Look at that, babe. I'm pretty big down there. I got a 5070 Ti, huh? It's too big. And the funny thing is about this dude is that Microsoft has an Xbox PC for you, and you got Kid Smooth out here doing all this theatrics for what? All because Microsoft betrayed me. You see, that is the problem with console fanboys. You're not worried about playing video games. You're more concerned about winning some imaginary console war, bro. You guys are too old for this. Look at that, honey. I'm big down there. I got a 5070 Ti, and I don't know what to do with it.
You look like a buffoon
It don't
sometimes.
fit.
But anyways, he states 5070 Ti is so big, no room for any other puts. I guess I have.
You hear that, ladies?
I have a Media 2.1 capture card for sale with a
whoa
face
now
there, and shows the pictures that this thing ain't gonna.
Easy there, chocolate. Easy there, chocolate. You know, I'm too big.
Fit in there, and again, that's
you hear this, Smooth, man? Listen, you should have just waited for the Xbox PC like people told you, man. But no, he wanted to finagle with the PC gaming market, and now he realized that it's too big. You know, ain't enough space down there for me to put my 5070 Ti up in there. You know what I'm saying? You let me know when we got some of these heifers that can handle this. You know what I'm saying?
Trial and error situation of those that are not familiar in the PC space.
Man out here holding a power cell that he can't use, bro. Yo, Kid Smooth is so stupid.
On how to make things work. You
unbelievable, man.
Parts,
stick the game on console there, buddy.
I don't have enough room. I don't have this. I don't have that. This ain't, gelling together like I thought. You put it together. It's not firing up appropriately. You have to troubleshoot. Again, there's a big nuance to jumping over to PC gaming. So if you are more familiarized with console gaming and you haven't really delved into the PC ecosystem in probably over a decade or something like that, or if you do have a PC, you just barely dabble into it, odds are you're going to come across situations like this, and you're going to get burned one way or the other, or at least go through that trial.
I mean, can you get to the point, man? I noticed with this guy, man, he stretches his points for far too long, man. Just get to the point.
Own error process, but you kind of love to see it because they're so salty, they're so upset about PlayStation winning those console wars.
Oh, here we go. You hear that, Jimmy? PlayStation's winning the console war. You hear that, Jimmy? You know, ain't you the same dude that told people that Xbox is dead and how PlayStation would never put their games on PC and all this other stuff? I mean, even when it's far to say that Sony wouldn't even put their live service or subscription games on Xbox. And now this man's still out here capping for this imaginary contour, man. I mean, bro, you don't even have like one hair foliage on your head, bro. What are you doing, man? This man out here built like a whole eggshell, Dr. Eggman. And this man out here talking about console wars? Are you serious? How about you actually played the game Sonic the Hedgehog, all right?
And they tried to just be like, you know what, throw my hands up. If I go over to that open platform ecosystem, such as PC, things are going to turn out much better, right? I just get to have everything. Everything's.
Oh, then maybe he should have just waited for the Xbox PC, which is still classified as a console, and he wouldn't have these problems, right?
That's fine, etc., etc. Not so quick, right? Quick pause on that. But that being said, I thought that was a good one here. Now, let's shift over to the Alex situation side of things here. As you can see, he gets that over with the titles. Well, PlayStation crossed the line, and it's a disaster. So, again, what his sheep do, his follower base, his up-and-comers, his pedestal shiners, whatever the case is, they like to say, did you watch the video? But did you watch the video? No, stop. Do you watch my videos when my stuff's getting shared? Well,
I'm watching your video right now, and you still haven't said anything worth of substance.
Thumbnails? No, you're not. This is blatant. They crossed the line. I'm sure there's
they crossed the line
here because you got to keep that Xbox fan base and that PC fan base.
But aren't you doing the same thing, though? You calling him a grifter, but yet you trying to keep those PlayStation fanboys from watching your channel, though. That's why I just take the stance of a neutral gamer, bro. like I said, man, when Xbox dudes get out of line, I call them out, bro. Y'all just don't want to pay attention. This is times where I'll tell people, man, there's some things on Xbox that sucks, man. And I'll keep it 100. I might not drop that many videos on it because some of these Xbox dudes don't react the way you guys do. You know what I'm saying? I need entertainment. I need to make this funny, man. You know, and for some reason, you guys just give all these good reactions, man. You know, it's amazing. You know, and a lot of these Xbox dudes really don't care either. They really don't care, bro. They're grown men. They got families. They're out here taking care of responsibilities. You ponies care so much. You guys care more about this than anything else in your life. That's what makes it engaging.
Despises PlayStation because exclusives are bad because PC doesn't always get those days.
It's not that exclusives are bad. I mean, look no further than Blue Point Studios. You tell me, did exclusivity help that company? Explain to me how Square's games drop it on PlayStation. I mean, even Square themselves, and you guys was coping for so long. Oh, they made enough money. They did. And I've been told people when I heard that, I was like, oh, those games about to go multi-plat. Oh, you're just being a fanboy. Blah, 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 blah. And look what happened. Who was right and who was wrong? I was right and you was wrong. Because you are looking at it from the lens of a PlayStation fanboy. That's why.
One, which they're waiting on bated breath that does happen sooner than later. Then, of course, the grift continues. The grift towards aiming that disdain and hate towards PlayStation continues. But
hold on, what? Now, if that's what he's doing, but yet, why are you accusing him for something that you're doing on your channel right now? Aren't you doing the same type of content, hating on Xbox and PC gamers? I'm just saying, I mean, if you're going to go as far to complain about all this PlayStation hate, while you out here making these Xbox bash and PC bash videos, like, what? Let me hear this again. There's no way he said this.
On bated breath that does happen sooner than later. Then, of course, the grift continues. The grift towards aiming that disdain and hate towards PlayStation continues. But
and what do you think you're doing? Hate and disdain towards Xbox and PC? How you gonna sit there and accuse a person for doing the same thing that you doing, allegedly?
Just wanted to show a quick example of the grifting doesn't stop.
Yeah, and you show that example with yourself.
The bills have to be paid. The life of a grifter does go on, right? But just some fun there. Of course, as you can see, 28K views for the grifting status. And that's what it gets you. Should I sell out, folks? Should I sell out and capitalize on PlayStation?
Oh, now it's all about selling out. Oh, what? What do you mean?
And get this audience going. Should I?
I mean, you kind of did, though. I mean, you became a PlayStation fanboy. You bash Xbox. I mean, you are criticizing somebody else for doing the same thing that you're doing. It makes absolutely no sense. He's just more successful in what he's doing than you are. What do you mean by selling out? Explain where the whole selling out aspect is coming from. Oh yeah, like MBG, how he was an Xbox fan to a PlayStation one. Would that be a sellout? Or like what Kid Smooth is doing, would that classify as a sellout? What about Reforged Gaming that started playing PlayStation since PlayStation 5? That's not a sellout? Now I'm not using that argument towards you, but you have to explain to me what a sellout is. Because if you ask me, MBG and Reforged Gaming most definitely are sellouts. Because they have no gaming history of playing PlayStation from the very beginning. That to me is a sellout. Kid Smooth is just all over the place. Kid Smooth is just Kid Smooth at this point.
I wouldn't do that. But let's get to
Of course you won't. Why would you? You're a PlayStation fanboy. You're like, well, what would change?
Next example.
We just try to get you to become a neutral gamer like everybody else. That's it. Other than that, you can't take the fanboy out these ponies, man.
Speaking of the man of Trojan horses here, King David, him getting picked up by Tom Henderson's deal, I believe, and him. Roadmap of 2026 so far are these four. Looks like it's going to be a lot bigger or get a lot bigger, right? We have Gears of War E-Day, Fable, Forza Horizon 6, and of course Halo remake for the Combat Evolved. And every single one of these, except for E-Day so far, has been announced for the PlayStation ecosystem, the PlayStation platform. So
how does that take the value of the games? And I think Forza is dropping on Xbox, I think a few months earlier or whatever. Regardless of all that, where does that stop the fun from these games coming over? Now you have to show in comparison what PlayStation is doing. What are they doing? You got Microsoft drop. I wouldn't even count Halo campaign involved. Listen, if I'm an Xbox fan, but I'm gonna sit there and tell you, don't add Halo campaign involved. It's just an old game anyway. But those three, yeah, you could use Fable Reboot, Gears Day, and the Forza Horizon 6. Yeah, that to me makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, these are good games coming, and they're good games coming to your platform, which you are benefiting from. So how are you gonna sit there and say that Xbox makes no games? And yet, the best games that people are looking forward to playing, besides GTA 6, of course, if that even gets delayed, is these Xbox titles.
It's going to be a big deal. And of course, they were talking about roadmaps and possible console exclusives. But
I don't think people have been saying that, bro. Ever since Halo Campaign Evolved showed a trailer with the PS5 as well as Fable, and I think even Forza, nobody's saying that, bro. Nobody's saying that. And if you're an Xbox fan saying that, then you're crazy, bro. Because I think that at that point, we already know these games is coming over. It wouldn't be a Trojan horse if these games weren't.
I don't get the last name moron for not being a moron. So here we are. In addition to that, Extension the Catfish, a.k.a. Joseph Cruz, a.k.a. Andrea Piccinini, just a distant memory to some. So check that out as well. I believe it's something...
I mean, XVault Gaming, you had me with this video, man. You know, you went as far to call people grifters, or the PlayStation hate. I mean, you want to talk about grifting, but you're doing the same thing. Like I said, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying I don't know how you're going to complain about the hate on PlayStation, but yet you are doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing. Matter of fact, I think you PlayStation fanboys have created this dynamic of this constant back and forth. Y'all been doing this since PlayStation 1, as we can clearly see. We won every console. Well, there you go. There's your answer. I mean, you guys have been doing this. You guys have been making gaming bad. And unfortunately, you guys don't even buy your own titles. But we got exclusive. Oh, okay. You got exclusive. So why is Astrobot stuck at 1.5 mil? Why is 92 million people on PlayStation not buying the sequel of Astrobot? I thought this was the next biggest thing since Mario was bundled in the NES, and guess what? It did not work. I mean, it is what it is, man. These dudes are still stuck in the old days. They can't admit it. Gaming is going through some fundamental changes, and if Sony thinks they can rely on their own games, they can't. Nintendo can. And you guys use, people buy exclusives. Look no further than Nintendo. Why can't you use PlayStation? That's so stupid. Have you noticed that? PlayStation fanboys are using another console to console war. It's pathetic. Oh, yeah, because they know they don't buy their own games. They only buy particular ones. Even Nintendo gamers do, and Xbox as well. They buy particular games, right? Most of them is free-to-play, they don't buy free-to-plays, but you get one. They support free-to-plays, microtransactions, and they buy third parties a lot of the times. Nintendo has some little, leadway, but other than that, they don't buy every Nintendo exclusive. I mean, look no further than Metroid Prime 4 and Mario Tennis. Those games sold horribly, even with a high install base. So that shows us that not everybody buys a game because it's an exclusive, what you guys keep claiming it is. So that's my point, though, guys. You know what I mean? This whole exclusivity talk while they sit there and say, well, people buy Nintendo one. Well, how are you going to use another company to justify the ones that are not selling on your platform? Oh, but Nintendo, they selling exclusive. If a PlayStation fanboy does that, you're one of the dumbest gamers alive. Because why would you use another competitor's console and say, well, you see, you're saying people don't buy exclusives. They buy them on Nintendo. How does that help your argument for PlayStation? If anything, it makes it worse. Because you're essentially admitting that we don't buy them on PlayStation, but we buy them on Nintendo. So what's the argument? I will go as far to say that people buy very particular games, right? Pokemon, Legend of Zelda, Mario, we already know. But not everybody buys every Nintendo exclusive, because if they did, we'd see games like Kid Icarus. We'll see all the other IPs that Nintendo does own as well. And if people did, we would see the same thing with Sony. The only company pumping out their own software from studios that they own is Microsoft, even though they're multi-plat. Gears Day, Fable, and Forza. These are games, and you guys say that these games don't sell, they failed. I mean, clearly Xbox gamers had to buy these games to make these franchises alive, right? Clearly they would have to buy them so they would still be able to coexist within today's gaming landscape, wouldn't they? So to go as far to say that Xbox gamers don't buy games, even though they've been supporting Forza from the original Xbox, Gears of War for the 360, as well as Halo and all these franchises that are still around, mind you, while the ones on PlayStation aren't, is very disingenuous. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. Like I said, take care, man. Dr. Eggman is at it again.